So my name's Christine and I'm coming to you live from Nova Scotia today, and super excited, actually really super nervous to talk about this topic, but it is near and dear to my heart, and I thought I'd share it with you, my little bit of my journey. So basically today I'm going to talk about how I went from a size 18-20 down to a size 6'8", and it was a huge change for me to do that. It took a lot of work. It wasn't easy and it wasn't fast. It took work. It took time for me to put that weight on and become a size 20, just like it took time for me to lose it. I will honestly tell you, all of my life, and anybody who knows me knows this, but all of my life I have struggled with my weight. I have always been a bigger girl, and this is probably the first time in my life that that I've ever, well, no, I was this weight and this size when I was 13, but I haven't been this weight or this size since I was 13. So it's something I'm very proud of, being able to lose the weight. And if you're interested in learning about how I did it and what my journey was, then stay tuned, because I am going to share that with you. It actually, I want to call it, I guess most people might call it a form of intermittent fasting, but it really wasn't really intermittent fasting, like 100% to whatever the structure might be of that. So basically here's the big things that I did. I don't call it intermittent fasting because it really was just a lifestyle change for me on how I did this. I changed how I ate, when I ate, what I ate, and how much I ate. And those were the four really big things. Those are the four things that I have to tell you you need to change. You need to change how you eat, when you eat, what you eat, and how much you eat. And then add some exercise into there. Get your body moving. So some of the things that I did in order to help me to lose the weight is I stopped eating after 7 o'clock at night. I just stopped. I started drinking tea and water and things without sugar in it. I also stopped drinking caffeine after 7 o'clock at night, so that when it was time for me to go to sleep, I was ready to go to bed. And I found that one of the really big things for me was I learned to recognize that some of that nighttime hunger was really my body telling me to go to bed. I was munching to stay up, pretty much. I was munching to stay up. And when I realized that really that need to munch was my body saying, go to bed, I went to bed. So that was a big thing, not eating after 7 o'clock at night, and no caffeine after 7 o'clock at night, so that I was tired when I needed to be tired. In the mornings, I just delayed my breakfast. Instead of getting up and trying to eat breakfast in the rush of getting my kids breakfast and getting them ready for school and everything else, I just delayed my breakfast. So I waited until I got to work before I ate my breakfast, and it would just be something light. I also stopped drinking caffeine after 7 o'clock at night, so that when it was time for me to go to sleep, I was ready to go to bed. And I found that one of the really big things for me was I learned to recognize that some of that nighttime hunger was really my body telling me to go to bed. I was munching to stay up, pretty much. I was munching to stay up. And when I realized that really that need to munch was my body saying, go to bed, I went to bed. So that was a big thing, not eating after 7 o'clock at night, and no caffeine after 7 o'clock at night, so that I was tired when I needed to be tired. In the mornings, I just delayed my breakfast. Instead of getting up and trying to eat breakfast in the rush of getting my kids breakfast and getting them ready for school and everything else, I just delayed my breakfast. So I waited until I got to work before I ate my breakfast, and it would just be something light. It would just be something really light. Most of the times it was like a boiled egg, some cheese, and some fruit. And I wouldn't really eat my breakfast until probably closer to 10 or 11 in the morning. If you stop eating at 7 o'clock at night and you get up in the morning and you don't eat until 10 or 11, that is a long time to go without eating. However, you're sleeping for most of it, so you don't really even notice. And my bigger meal of the day was always lunch, which I tended to eat like around 2 in the afternoon, usually when I got hungry again, was my bigger meal. And it was usually leftovers from the night before. So there's an easy, simple solution to meal planning. Make a little bit extra the night before so that you have leftovers for your lunch. Maybe a later afternoon snack of like veggies and dip or something, that by the time I got home and was having dinner, it was always a light dinner before I went to bed. So my biggest meal of the day was in the afternoon. I focused really hard on increasing my fruits and vegetables. I decreased the amount of meats I was eating. I also decreased or reduced, I guess, the amount of carbs and the refined sugars that were in my diet. So I cut out like pop, pop was just gone. I cut it out. So I cut out pop, soda, cola, whatever you call it, I cut it out. I drank tea and water before bed, just in case there was any of that hunger that came back at me. And again, because I wasn't drinking the caffeine after supper, I went to bed at a regular time. So that's how I managed to go from a size 20 to a size 6. And I have been able to maintain this lifestyle because of how I did the change as a lifestyle versus a diet. And I made healthier choices in how I was eating, when I was eating, how much I was eating, and what I was eating. So smaller portions, smaller plate sizes really helped. That was a big thing. I used smaller plates when I was eating so that my plate still looked full, just as full as everybody else's, but I was eating less and still feeling full. So smaller portions was a big thing as well for me. And I mean, like I said, it took time. It's not an easy fix to lose the weight that you put on, just like it wasn't easy to put it on in the first place. Although it definitely feels easier going on than it does coming off. Feels more work involved when it's coming off, but that's likely because there's just more thought process to taking it off than there is to putting it on. So anyways, that's how I managed to change my eating lifestyle, I guess. That's how I managed to become more aware of what I was eating and what I was putting into my body on a regular basis. So, there was also no more fast food. Fast food was gone. No more fast food. We did not do fast food anymore. No more of that. I did meal planning. I cut out sugars. I reduced the carbs. I didn't cut out sugars. I reduced the sugars. So I chose to embrace a healthier lifestyle is basically how I lost the weight. But I stopped eating after 7. I stopped caffeine after 7. I delayed my breakfast. My biggest meal of the day was my lunch, which was typically leftovers from the night before. I had small meals throughout the day, so breakfast was small, a small light snack in the afternoon, and a lighter dinner at night. I had a lot of tea, a lot of water, really increased the water, more movement, no more fast food, a lot more home cooking, reduced the refined carbs and sugars, and I cut out soda and pop from my diet. So that's basically what I did. I didn't do it all at once. When I say I delayed breakfast, I might have delayed it an hour the first week, and then the next week I increased it and I increased it. So I was eating when I was hungry and I was stopping when I was feeling full. And that's what helped to reduce the portion sizes as well, because I realized that I didn't need to fill that whole plate of food and eat that whole plate of food. I could eat a lot less and still feel full by doing smaller meals throughout the day, smaller snacks throughout the day, healthier eating throughout the day, and having my large meal at lunch and keeping everything else small. So if you're interested in taking on a challenge like this, a lifestyle change, and making some changes to how you eat, when you eat, how much you eat, and what you eat, so those are the 4 things that I did. I'm happy to share some information with you. I do have like a 7 easy healthy dinner idea menu. It's just the dinners, but it's healthy. It's 7 quick, easy, simple, healthy, easy. I think I already said easy meal ideas. So if you're interested in getting a hold of those 7 easy meal ideas that you can make at dinner time for you and your family and still have enough leftovers to take into your lunch the next day, which reduces your meal planning, let me know. Happy to share those 7 quick, easy, healthy meals. And I wish you luck on your health journey. Hopefully you have as much success as I do. If you ever need some encouragement or some words of advice, let me know. I'm happy to share. It was a long journey, and I'm very grateful for all that I learned and all that I've been able to accomplish. Talk to y'all soon.